Hey guys, Zark here. I wanted to talk about Invisible Woman and kind of how her meta kind of has been changing throughout Rivals and kind of just its whole, I guess you could say her whole, meta um, and kind of uses and her viability throughout, Marvel Rivals and kind of ever since it came out. Invisible Woman is a really interesting character, I feel like she doesn't get played as much as maybe a Cloak and Dagger and a Jeff. But she's one of those characters that like is always, at least in my opinion, and continuing probably maybe make a future prediction, kind of with the rest of the game, she'll always be played. For first of all, for obvious reasons, and second of all, because she's really just like a great healer, as well as actually more as a DPS, as more people kind of realize. Like she kind of can be really utilized as a DPS in some ways, more than even Cloak and Dagger. Than I think people take the care and take to notice, really. So, one of the things that I think people severely underrate her for is her ability to kind of dish out damage as she's kind of healing people. Like you just saw, I don't know if you guys saw that, but the Spider-Man kind of just tried to jump at me and I pushed him back. That's another really great one of her abilities. I guess we'll talk about that ability first. So her push and her pull in is like basically like it's one of damn near the best abilities in the game, because not only does it do like a fat ton of damage, not a whole lot, but it does like considerable amount of damage, especially for a healer. And not only can you push people away, like let's just say like now's a good chance to push them away, because it's just delaying them more and more. Like we're really holding them in this spot. They basically can't do anything. So doing the push here is probably going to be the best option, unless like you're kind of with a DPS near you and you want to pull them in, and you can kind of just like use the pull in to kind of get them close to you to kind of just kill them with either yourself if you have the chance at their low health, or just kill them with like I said, if there's a DPS or a tank near you and you want to pull them in towards you and they're low health. So that ability alone is just such a great ability. And I don't see enough people talking about it. This is going to be, going to be a video about like Invisible Woman, all of her abilities, like I said, her meta in today's, her viability in today's meta. So, but yeah, her push is extremely really good. And so I guess we'll now talk about her jump. Her jump is basically like a get out of jail free card. Like her jump is insanely good. What she could do with her jump is of course she jumps. And not only does this kind of like make people, stop tracking you, but you go invisible and you start gaining health. So not only is it really hard, like you basically have to guess where Invisible Woman jumped in order to try to find her and hit her. But even if you get the chance, you might, and if you hit her, you might not be killing her straight up, because like I said, she was healing at least for a second or two. And if she's healing any longer than that, then she's going to be near full health. So, and the get out of jail free card, her jump is insanely good. She could also just like stand still. I feel like a lot of players don't know this. You could just stand still with Invisible Woman and she'll just turn invisible. And of course, I think you'll be in the healing state for this as well. But if you're kind of in a bad spot and the enemies are not finding you and you just ran away from them, and maybe your team isn't there and they all died, like I would just stand still, and then you could literally just like walk among them. Or I prefer to walk on the side or just try to get out of their way, of course. But yeah, you could literally just go invisible, stand still, and just get out of dodge and kind of come back with your team. Right here, actually, I'm showing up on screen right now. I'm kind of delaying because I know that they did the Luna ult, so I'm kind of just delaying, walking around, seeing if they even target me, and then I put my ult down just so I have like the ult lasting longer compared to the Luna, so it'll kind of just go overlap and go over any other ult that they might have going on. But yeah, so her ult is not only it's damn near one of the best in the game. I think it might be better than Cloak and Daggers in my opinion, because for Cloak and Daggers, like yeah, you basically get like the infinite health in the circle. You still can, I'm pretty sure you still can die in it, but you have to like place them around. And yes, it does damage to the enemies, but it's very insignificant. If you have like decent enough healers, like you're gonna be fine with the Cloak and Dagger ult in terms of the damage it's doing. That's something you have to consider with the Cloak and Dagger ult. But for the Cloak and Dagger ult as well, you have to basically like move around and place it down manually. But with Invisible Woman, it's just like a big space. You drop it down immediately, and every enemy in it gets slowed down, and you basically get insta health with her ultimate. Like, you will not die unless like you get like, I don't know, like an Iron Man ult maybe can go through it, I think. Just stuff like that you have to be aware of course. But her ult is just insanely good. It's basically just like invincibility, and anyone who's in it, who's an enemy, gets slowed down, and it's just gonna get really capsized on and capitalized on if you if your team is there with you attacking them. You see a good push right there, just kind of like funneling them into that one spot. I push them back, it does some damage. I got a kill from that. I do like to jump a lot with my characters. Jumping is another thing. Just I think you should do it all characters, just so it's, you know, you're less of a target for the enemies to hit you. As you can see, we kind of win that site right there. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about her, or I guess kind of just starting to talk about her other kind of main ability here, her shield. So her shield is a very, very interesting ability. So obviously what it does is, of course, it shields any damage coming in from any of your enemies, and not only that, it actually heals your allies, and it's very interesting. So the way I would use it, I'm using it right here. Actually, you can see in video. I'm constantly doing left trigger to toggle it, kind of like on and off. Not really on and off, but just like in a new area each time. So just for me on Xbox, it's left trigger, and that's really nice because like it's just like instant healing and kind of a little bit of shielding and protection. Obviously, sometimes the shield's not going to be in the greatest spot, but as long as your allies are around it, they're going to get healed. And so if your shield gets destroyed, I think it's like a 7-8 second cooldown or something like that. So you definitely want to have it up, and you definitely want to continue to put it on anyone who's kind of like near the front of the push, and get them shielded and as well as healed. So you know, that's a big thing. Her shield is definitely a really, really good ability if it's used right. I see some people just put it down, they never keep reapplying it, but you definitely want to putting it down again and again and again, just so you could kind of continue to shield people and all that good stuff, because you know, there's a bigger chance that if you just have it laying around, it's going to get shot down, and if you're not reapplying it, then you're losing out on healing people and shielding them as well. So I just zoomed in, or not zoomed in, I just sucked in that I don't even know who that was right there. And of course, if you guys don't know, her kind of main attack also does damage and also heals your opponents. Kind of goes back and forth as you shoot it out. So you could do a lot of damage if you kind of just play in the right position, kind of dish them out, hit enemies with it, as well as heal yours, and it just kind of goes back and forth. And it's kind of like a battle of attrition, I guess you could say. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Definitely like and subscribe for more content like this, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Zoc, out.